Blanchfield Army. Brigadier General Travis McIntosh, Deputy Commanding General for Operations, 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault. Command Sergeant Major Ryan Jeffers, Fort Campbell, Kentucky Garrison Command Sergeant Major. Colonel Lexi Bonaventura, Commander, 531st Hospital Center. Command Sergeant Major Oriana Davila, Command Sergeant Major, 531st Hospital Center. Colonel Gabe Zodi, Commander, 5th Special Forces Group. Command Sergeant Major Travis Esterby, Command Sergeant Major, 5th Special Forces Group. Colonel Aaron Thomas, Commander, 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault Artillery. Command Sergeant Major Rudy Rodriguez, Command Sergeant Major, 101st Airborne Division, Artillery. Colonel Christopher Van Fossen, Commander, USA Medac, Fort Knox, Kentucky. Command Sergeant Major Bradford Webster, Command Sergeant Major, USA Medac, Fort Knox, Kentucky. Mayor Wes Golden, Mayor of Montgomery County, Tennessee. Mayor Jackie Oliver, Mayor of Oak Grove, Kentucky. Miss Elena Bastian, Champion of Fort Campbell. Ms. Catherine Bertoldi, Champion of Fort Campbell. Mr. Bill Harpel, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army and Champion of Fort Campbell. Mr. Phil Harpel, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army and Champion of Fort Campbell. Ms. Royce Edens, Champion of Fort Campbell. Major General Retired Walt Lord, Brigadier General Retired Scott Browder, Colonel Retired Vince Myers, Colonel Retired Hope Williams, Mr. Shannon Lane, Christian County Director of Military Affairs, Mr. John Clement, State Director of Military Advisor, Senator Marsha Blackburn's office, Mr. Andy Matan, Tenova Healthcare, Mr. Bill Jolly, Vice President, HCA Healthcare, Ms. Bridget Brosnia, Veterans Affairs Valley, Tennessee Healthcare System, and Dr. Keith Toms, CFO, Jenny Stewart Medical Center. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Brigadier General James E. Burke, the Commanding General of Medical Readiness Command East. The host commander is Colonel Samuel L. Preston, USA Medac, Fort Campbell, Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. The distinguished guest for today's event is Colonel James A. McWherter, the incoming commander. The United States Army Medac, Fort Campbell, Blanchfield Army Community Hospital Senior Enlisted Leader is Command Sergeant Major Jose Cotto. The direct reporting units for USA Medac, Fort Campbell are Medical Readiness Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Peter M. Doyle, and Senior Enlisted Leader, Sergeant Major Nathan D. Hunsaker. The Fort Campbell Soldier Recovery Unit, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Colin P. Bear, Senior Enlisted Leader, Command Sergeant Major Emmanuel R. Huff. U.S. Army Woodson Health Clinic, Rock Island Arsenal, led by Lieutenant Colonel Mary M. Ayers, and U.S. Army Health Clinic, Fort McCoy, led by Major Catherine A. Hanley. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and honors Brigadier General Burke. Brigadier General Burke has deferred honors to Colonel Preston. Please be seated. At this time, the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital 2025 Best Medic Team Representative, Staff Sergeant Janak, is presenting Colonel Preston's partner, Mr. Scott Gantz, with a gift, and Colonel Preston's mother, Miss Jan Preston, with a bouquet of carnations. Red is the color of the heart and reflects the loving concern that is shown for our soldiers and their families. The carnations are in full bloom, symbolizing the completion of their time with the organization. Gifts are being presented to Colonel Preston's sister, Mrs. Jennifer Shibley, her spouse, Mr. Eric Shibley, and his nieces, Kiera and Marlena. The Blanchfield Army Community Hospital NCO of the Year, Sergeant Mohammed Mansoureh, is presenting Colonel McWherter's wife, Ms. Rhiannon McWherter, with a bouquet of flowers symbolizing friendship and her arrival to the unit. Gifts are also being presented to Colonel McWherter's children, Colin, Andrew, and Gavin, welcoming them into the organization. and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by the Soldier Recovery Unit's Battalion Chaplain, Captain Hilton Cochran, and remain standing for honors to the nation, sung by Mrs. Jennifer Worthman.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, King of the universe, you created man to lead and to govern ourselves, subdue the earth and fill it with your image. You raise up leaders as you see fit to rule over and care for your creation, and you place them in positions of authority in accordance with the skills and talents which you place in them. Today we observe the change of command for the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. We recognize the unique qualities of character, education, and skill required to successfully lead this unit. Today we honor Colonel Preston and thank you for blessing us with him for his time here. As he moves on to your next appointment in his life, we ask your blessings and mercies upon him and his family, his partner Scott, and all those who will be touched by his influence when he arrives at the Pentagon to assume his new responsibilities. His leadership, and particularly his kindness, were evident to those around him, and he blessed all those who relied on him here, from the soldiers and civilian staff to all the service members and families stationed at and around Fort Campbell. In your wisdom, you have chosen to appoint Colonel James McWherter to lead BACH into the future. No doubt you have molded him and prepared his family for all that you have in store for them here at Fort Campbell. Pour out your blessings on his wife, Rhiannon, and his children, Colin, Andrew, and Gavin, during this transition from San Antonio. In many ways, our families serve with us, and the sacrifice is not always apparent until we're looking back on it. Make this time that will be looked back on fondly for each of them. By your hand, we trust that the soldiers of the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital continue to be led well. May they always achieve the mission which you set before them. All this I pray in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Fort Campbell opened its first hospital August 19, 1942, known as the United States Army Hospital at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The hospital had an operating capacity of 2,100 beds to support the troop needs of Camp Campbell. The hospital was housed in a wood-framed structure using a World War II cantonment design consisting of 53 brick veneered two-story buildings extending over 73 acres of land. The complex included more than 7 miles of ramps and corridors. This hospital and staff provided care to soldiers and families for 40 years through World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. On September 17, 1982, the current hospital was officially dedicated. The architecture and design of the building was among the most modern of its day. The hospital opened with 10 patient care units and a capacity to care for 241 hospitalized patients. The hospital was dedicated in remembrance to Colonel Florence A. Blanchfield, Chief of the Army Nurse Corps from 1943 to 1947. Colonel Blanchfield played a prominent role in World War II by placing nursing teams close to the front lines to provide expert nursing care to battlefield casualties, and was instrumental in attaining permanent commissioned officer status for military nurses. Blanchfield Army Community Hospital is unique in the United States Army Medical Department in that it is the only hospital named after an Army Nurse Corps officer. Colonel Florence Blanchfield was the first woman to receive a regular Army commission. The mission of the BACH health system is, without compromise, we are committed to healthcare excellence, delivering readiness to our warfighters, families, and community. Its vision is that Blanchfield is the gold standard military health system, transforming healthcare, readiness, and training because of our people, innovation, and service. Army medicine is Army strong. The change of command is a simple event that is rich with tradition, symbolism, and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are his colors. The custodian of the colors is the command sergeant major, the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of authority from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander. The passing of the colors demonstrates to the soldiers of the unit the old commander has passed the mantle of leadership to the new commander, and with this must also pass the loyalty of the soldiers and their new commander. At this time, Blanchfield Army Community Hospital Command Sergeant Major Jose L. Cotto, the custodian of the colors, passes the colors to the outgoing commander, Colonel Samuel L. Preston, for the last time. The outgoing commander then passes the colors to the commanding general, Brigadier General Jamie Burke, signifying his relinquishment of his command. Brigadier General Burke now passes the colors to Colonel James McWherter, charging him with the responsibility for Blanchfield Army Community Hospital as its new commander. By authority of Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the USA Medical Department activity, Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, effective July 8, 2025, signed James A. McWherter, Medical Service Corps, commanding. This time-honored process is completed when the incoming commander passes the colors back to the command sergeant major, charging him with maintaining the symbol of the command. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding General, Medical Readiness Command East, Brigadier General Burke.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a true honor and privilege to host today's change of command ceremony. I want to thank Chaplain Cochran for the blessing and words of inspiration, and great job to our color guard here from BACH. You're looking really great out there as well. And also, this a special thank you to Jennifer Workman for your rendition of the national anthem. Really great job, very inspiring. Welcome, commanders, command sergeant majors, civilians, families, and friends, and guests attending in person and virtually. A special welcome to our distinguished guests this morning, General Zagari and husband Joe, our Surgeon General, ma'am, Bulla, Major General and Mrs. David Gardner. Sir, good to see you again. Welcome this morning. General Travis McIntosh and lovely wife, good to see you as well, sir. Command Sergeant Major Ryan Jumpers, the Garrison CSM, and also Major General Retired and Mrs. Walt Ward, and Brigadier General Retired Scott Brower. There's also CASAs, champions of Fort Campbell and surrounding county and city mayors here as well, and other distinguished guests. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days to support this deeply rooted Army tradition. Today's ceremony isn't just a transfer of authority, it's an assumption of responsibility. It's a reaffirmation of our commitment to our vital mission. This year on June 15th, we honored the 250th anniversary of the United States Army and Army medicine. 2.5 centuries of service, innovation, and healing, a testament to remember why we do what we do. We exist to ensure our soldiers and all warfighters that we serve are medically ready to answer a nation's call and to provide world-class health care to those who have answered the call for us. Team, please assist me in honoring and thanking Colonel Sam Preston for his leadership while in command. Sam, your tenure has been marked by exceptional leadership and a steadfast dedication to our mission. While in command, you prioritized readiness and partnership. You and your team showed the 101st in a mobilization exercise that you can readily and screen and deploy a brigade in days, not weeks. You added over 34 university training affiliation agreements, which is a 50% increase in what we previously had. And most notably, you've expanded vital partnerships with our brothers in the VA that have increased access and capacity for our soldiers and retirees. Thank you for taking care of our people. Thank you also for your partner, Scott, who supported you on this command ride. The Army is a team sport, and you did not get here alone, my friend. Thank you also to your mom, sister, and her family for being here today and celebrating this milestone with you. Wishing you continued success at your next assignment at the Office of the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Manpower and Reserve Affairs. As we bid farewell to one commander, we embrace the opportunity to welcome a new commander. Team, please help me welcome Colonel James McWherter and his family. Jim, as you assume command of this exceptional team, continue building on an established foundation of excellence and commitment to our mission. You bring a wealth of experience and a proven track record of leadership to this role, and I have full confidence in your ability to guide this MEDAC and hospital to even greater heights. Jim, as you step into this role, I challenge you to continue to prioritize your people, because your team is your greatest strength. This just isn't a talking point. It's a bedrock of everything that we do. When you take care of your people and leverage their strengths, you create more opportunities for individual, team, and mission successes. Invest in their training, their development, and their resilience. Understand their challenges, celebrate their wins, and foster an environment where every member of this team feels valued and supported. A healthy team is a high-performing and a winning team. Remember, we are not just delivering healthcare, we are building trust. Trust with our patients, trust within our ranks, and trust with the Army that we serve. That trust is earned through consistent, compassionate, and competent care, through unwavering support for the people we provide care for. Bottom line, take care of the soldier, take care of their family, and they will take care of you in the mission. I'll offer you my full support, and I have no doubt under your leadership, this MEDAC and hospital will continue to excel, to innovate, and to make a difference in the lives of those we serve. Let us move forward united in purpose, dedicated to our people, and committed to their care. Your health, our mission, combat-ready care, this will defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander, Colonel Preston.
All right, good morning. Screaming Eagles, thank you for celebrating Blanchfield on the occasion of our change of command. Lieutenant General Izagiri, Joe, Major General Gardner, Evie, Brigadier General Burke, Command Sergeant Major Putu, Brigadier General McIntosh, Lisa, as well as our fellow commanders, CASAs, champions of Fort Campbell, healthcare, civic, and community leaders, and the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital family. Thank you for taking time to acknowledge the nearly 2,000 soldiers, civilians, and volunteers whose professionalism enables Blanchfield Army Community Hospital Health System to provide healthcare excellence to 65,000 beneficiaries across a 7-state health support area. I'd like to just first give a special thanks to the 101st Division Band. Now, I was enjoying them this weekend at Casey Jones at a MAC meeting, and then I enjoyed them about 6 or 7 times last week. So you always add a special touch of class to these events and a sense of pride to this occasion. So thank you for being here. Command Sergeant Major Cotto, Battle, and Blanchfield's own color guard, you look sharp. To Chaplain Cochran, thank you for your wise words. You are a true inspiration to us all. And you represent the selfless sacrifice exhibited by Blanchfield teammates each and every day. Now I'm going to go off script because I asked permission for this. And so Chaplain Cochran is one of our soldiers in recovery, and he is the epitome of what selfless service is. He is surviving a cancer diagnosis and agreed to share his wisdom and his faith with us today. I'm pleased to say that as of his last assessment yesterday, that he no longer has metastases to his bone and it has been cleared. And Ms. Workman, thank you for your rendition of the national anthem. I'm so glad I got to hear your lovely voice one last time in command. I don't know how you never got on payroll, all of the national anthems you sang, but we appreciate it. It was lovely. Brigadier General Burke, thank you for your kind words, sir, and to your predecessor, Brigadier General Ramey, for allowing me the privilege of command. 2 years ago, 80 leaders within the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital re-examined the hospital's mission statement. After 2 long days of deliberation and refinement, the team published what would be our guiding principle. Without compromise, we are committed to healthcare excellence, delivering readiness for our warfighters, family, and community. Roy Disney, the older brother of Walt Disney, and arguably the mastermind of much of Disney's early success, once said, "When your values are clear, your decisions become easier." And that's exactly what happened here. When we were challenged, and challenges came, true to our salute and response, rather than making excuses for mediocrity, we raised the standard. Our mission statement wasn't just a gimmick, it was a framework, ensuring as every decision steered the command towards healthcare excellence. Within 2 months of publishing the mission statement, the hospital and community was tested by a deadly tornado, which displaced dozens of Blanchfield employees, rendering several homeless. Without prompt, staff opened their arms and their homes to their neighbors. Many continued to go to work despite their own personal losses, knowing that BACH was where they were needed, where they added value. The team was its very best when our community experienced its very worst. So early in this command, it became clear that this hospital system could rise to any challenge and become stronger and more resilient on the other side. That was certainly not the last storm this command faced. Despite a stagnant budget and inflated operating costs, hiring freezes, and aging infrastructure, this command, powered by its exceptional workforce of committed patriots, thrived. A health system that increased its leapfrog safety rating to A, the highest designation provided by this private watchdog group that assesses the safety and quality of healthcare systems. The Insulation Senior Medical Council galvanized a standard-bearing insulation health service support plan, providing unity of effort amongst all medical personnel across varied commands, integrating resources and providing cross-training to prepare our medical teams for large-scale combat operation and L2A2. BACH supported total Army medical readiness through soldier readiness processing at Fort Campbell and Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, with over 55,000 soldiers medically assessed over the last 2 years. BACH further developed its role as a critical medical training facility carrying 94 active university training affiliations, as Brigadier General Burke alluded to, increasing our affiliations by 50% in the last 2 years. Additionally, military graduate medical education expanded, with family medicine, pediatric, and psychiatry residents continually rotating at BACH, gaining realistic, relevant medical experience. Lastly, BACH established a robust clinical nurse transition program, bridging the gap from academic learning to practical demands of Army nursing to ensure delivery of safe, quality, and effective health care. Already an Army physician assistant clinical site, social work intern site, and also graduating 30 phase 2 AIT medics in the last 2 years. BACH redoubled down that it is an indispensable training platform generating readiness of our future medical force. Our Soldier Recovery Unit, the largest in the Army's inventory, maintained an enterprise-leading return-to-duty rate over 40%, highlighting the team's mission to deliver on its promise to promote readiness. Woodson Health Clinic at Rock Island Arsenal, the Arsenal of Democracy, expanded clinical services providing physical therapy for the Quad Cities military community, a capability previously unknown to that community. The VA clinic opened in February 2024, exceeding all expectations for enrollment, with nearly 3,000 veterans enrolled, with the addition of a dental collaboration, providing 6 dental chairs for VA dentists in support of Soldiers for Life and veterans' dental health. Speaking of delivering readiness, 2,400, at last count, 2,477 babies were delivered at BACH the last 2 years, with 7 born this past 4th of July. Now, if statistics hold, BACH produced at least 2 battalions worth of future military members. So BACH not only provides readiness for the current force, but through healthy children, we raised a healthy future. When the Secretary of the Army directed the modernization and modification of POW installations, processed wounded warriors returning from overseas, the Soldier Recovery Unit and Medical Readiness Battalion commanders collaborated, developing a gold standard process ensuring no returning warriors fall through the cracks. And lastly, when the Department of Surgery met sterile processing challenge, they took the hard right, halting operations so that BACH patients received healthcare excellence without compromise. Rather than waiting for the corporate solution, BACH harnessed its superpower, its devoted community, revitalizing and expanding external resource agreements with our community partners, allowing BACH surgeons to operate on our own patients at partner facilities, many of who are represented here today, thus reducing delays, ensuring BACH could remain a surgical site of excellence by other means. Whenever tested, this gritty, resilient, ingenious health system locked arms, became stronger. Even when tempted with early retirement and delayed resignation programs, less than 2% of the civilian staff even considered such programs, with less than 1% participating. In fact, despite all of the challenges and temptations, the hospital enjoyed a historically low attrition rate of 3%, down from 18% just 2 years ago. BACH Health System is committed, clear-eyed on our value, and devoted to our community. Though these successes are shared across the command, I would be remiss if I just didn't thank a couple of folks, a few of the many leaders and teammates over the past 2 years who helped drive the necessary change to keep our focus where it matters most. Our hospital system command sergeants majors, Petty, and Koto, you are truly the voice of the command and the ears of the commander. Thank you for your professionalism. My deepest gratitude to the deputy commanders, Colonel Bacomo, Burke, Clark, Gottlieb, Drs. Hellwig, Mr. Nix, Ms. Johnson, Lieutenant Colonel Price, and Lieutenant Colonel Baer. You translated strategic vision into action. You are the bedrock of the command. Thank you for trusting me and providing your steadfast expertise. Also, thank you for enduring my semi-pathological obsession with 80s music and 80s theme parties. That is greatly appreciated. I have no doubt you will continue to provide honest counsel and lead your teams with courage. To the executive staff and special staff, Major Regland, First Lieutenant Price, Ms. Mitchell, Anderson, Sergeant Garcia, and our lawyers, and our PA team led by Ms. Boyd, thank you for your support to command. Though your efforts were often invisible, they were truly existential. And a special thanks to our command teams, Lieutenant Colonel Glass, Horton, Doyle, Bear, Command Sergeant Majors Thompson, Wilkerson, Hunsaker, Gray, and Huff. You truly set the example and led the way for others to follow. To my fellow Installation Senior Medical Council colleagues, past and present, Colonel Tucker, Colonel Hambryce, Colonel Buenaventura, Colonel Bimson, Lieutenant Colonel Booms, Lieutenant Colonel Campagna, Lieutenant Colonel Liu, and Major Kearney, thank you for your teamwork and your willingness to seek those areas where we can collaborate for the health and readiness of our community. Not every installation enjoys the camaraderie and teamwork we foster at Fort Campbell, but thanks to your willingness, we are able to strengthen our unity and provide healthcare excellence. And then lastly, thanks to our senior leadership, both at MRC East, sir, and your predecessor, Brigadier General Rainey, and ma'am, as our Surgeon General. You and your leadership has been incredibly integral to the success of this installation. We appreciate that from the highest echelons, you recognize that the strategic importance of this installation is tied to the success of Blanchfield. And lastly, our 101st and Garrison senior leaders and staff, thank you for being such tremendous partners. There's no challenge too great for this fabled installation that remains true because of the exceptional warfighting professionals who continue that proud tradition. But not least, thank you to Scott My family and friends, you are my true superpower. You have walked this journey with me and provided unconditional love and support along the way. I could not have done it without you. Thank you for being here and walking this journey with me. Colonel McWherter, Jim, it's been wonderful to meet you and Rihanna over the last month. As Colonel Myers once said to me, and I will now say to you, thanks for being here, Vince. You are the exact right leader at the right time. I cannot wait to see what heights that you take this command of exceptional professionals in the future. In closing, I share my sincere gratitude for the privilege of being a member of this exceptional hospital. On this storied installation, surrounded by some of the best Americans our nation has to offer. It has been an honor. I will cherish it forever. Combat ready care, this will defend. Screaming Eagles, air assault. Raise the standard, be the standard. Strength 6 signing off.
Good morning, and thank you everybody for being here. What a great day. I'm told I only got 3 minutes, so I will get through this quick. 60 seconds, sir. I'll try. I do want to start off by thanking our distinguished guests. You know, Lieutenant General Izagari and Mr. Izagari, Major General Mrs. Gardner, General Burke, or Major Patu. I want to make sure I said it right. Fellow commanders, command sergeant majors, CASAs, champions of Fort Campbell, community leaders, fellow medical executives, and just friends and family of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. Thank you so much for being here today. I am deeply honored and humbled to be standing before you today. As the incoming commander of BACH, it is a moment of great significance for me, both professionally and personally, and I am grateful for the warm welcome that this community has extended to me and my family. It has been exceptional, and we are excited to serve this community again. First, I'd like to thank my family, Rhiannon, Colin, Andrew, and Gavin. Your unwavering support, resiliency, and encouragement have been the foundation of my career, and I would not be standing here without you today. Thank you very much. I love you all more than words can say. To the Fort Campbell community, thank you for opening your arms to me and my family again. BACH is not just a medical facility, it is a cornerstone of this installation and the surrounding community. I am committed to serving with integrity, compassion, and excellence to that end. To the staff of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital, soldiers, civilians, and contractors alike, I am in awe of your professionalism, dedication, and resilience. You have faced unprecedented challenges in recent years, and through it all, you've continued to provide world-class health care. Your tireless efforts do not go unnoticed, and I'm honored to join your ranks. The additional effort it takes to set up ceremonies like this and provide me with all the numerous briefings and tours are not lost on me. I just want to say thank you all for your time. You have my deepest thanks. I need to acknowledge and thank Colonel Sam Preston. I truly appreciate the way you welcomed our family, answered my incessant questions, and even stored my Corvette for a few weeks. Thank you very much. Yeah. You're a great person, and I'm deeply happy to meet you and call you a friend. Under your outstanding leadership, Blanchfield has achieved remarkable things. You strengthened our community partnerships, advanced patient care initiatives, dealt with SPD issues and resource constraints, all ensuring that this community and the 101st had the best care possible. Your steady hand and vision have set a high standard, and I thank you for your service and mentorship. We all wish you and Scott the very best at your next assignment. I just like to give a round of As I assume this command, I do so with a profound sense of responsibility. Our mission is clear: to provide exceptional health care and to ensure the medical readiness of the Screaming Eagles and all those entrusted to our care. I'm committed to supporting this mission of both the 101st and the MedCom and DHA, providing the best health care to our beneficiaries and strengthening the bonds between BACH and the surrounding community. Together, we will continue to build upon the legacy of excellence that defines BACH. We will face new challenges with courage and innovation, always keeping the well-being of our patients and the readiness of the force at the forefront of what we do. Thank you again for this incredible opportunity. I'm truly honored to be standing here again in front of you and to lead such an amazing organization. I look forward to serving alongside all of you. And again, thank you to everybody for coming. Combat Ready Care, this will defend. Screaming Eagles, air assault, raise the standard, be the standard. Strength 6 signing on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand from the rear of your program and join us in singing the Screaming Eagle song and the Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's change of command ceremony. Colonel Preston and his family will be by the stage to bid farewell. Colonel McWherter and his family will host a welcome reception in the atrium in the C entrance of Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. We thank you for attending. Raise the standard, be the standard.